All right. Let's go on to Deal or No Deal Island. We definitely covered this here. Myself, David, and Jack, we had to say bye to Logan. Logan wasn't feeling well, so we voted him off the island.
Oh my
Actually,
god.
he played the banker and lost. He made a
Bad
bad
deal.
deal.
Very bad deal.
But let's do Deal or No Deal Island. Let's start with you, Jack. What you got on Deal or No Deal Island?
The show basically took all of the problems that really plagued the first season and corrected them in ways that felt right.
Mm-hmm.
This was still a show that was dominated by the reality TV personalities that were already here. David and Parvati and Dr. Will absolutely dominated the season. And basically, whenever we got any sort of content from anyone else outside of maybe the top 5, we knew they were going home that episode. And it was not a question. But it was still really entertaining. It is schlocky. It is messy. But it's just fun. And I think this is solid TV.
David?
Yeah, this is why, for me, I want to see at least 2 seasons of almost any reality TV show. Because I do think season 1 had its issues, especially like a lot of the casting. They were not standouts. It seemed pretty top heavy with their stars. And on paper, you could say that about season 2. Because we do have our stars that also got a lot of screen time, but I still felt like I knew everybody in the cast, and the format really felt like it fell into place.
Mm-hmm.
There were sides; it became tense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really found that the show found its groove. So I was super into this season, and I was excited for season 3, especially like. I was like, who's going to be the like a reality star that they sprinkle in there? For me, this was great TV. I really liked this.
For me, I agree with you, David. I thought this was great TV. I feel like even with, like you said, the stars that we had with Parvati and David and Dr. Will, the people that they put on the rest of this cast actually held their own against them. And I enjoyed seeing the dynamics with this cast. I thought this was a really good cast. I feel like everything did come into place from season 1. I think season 2 kind of had things gel more and it felt right. That's why I'm like, why are we canceling it now that you got it right? Like, that's so stupid to do that.
We know the reason they're canceling it.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, but because like this season has some memorable things. Like we got, if you go low, I'm gonna go underground. Like Harriet Tubman go tell you to run. Like what? Like stuff like this. We had Dixon thinking he the player and he playing. He got this girl and this girl. Like, come on now. Like I enjoyed this season of Deal and No Deal.
Yeah, cheating in a challenge.
You cheated in the challenge, girl. Like,
don't look at the bag.
Don't look at it. You cheating. I thought this was great TV. I found it very, very entertaining. I loved it.
I thank God every day that Dondi existed, so that way I could have an excuse to watch Parvati Shalom on my screen twice this season, even if I didn't watch the entire show.
It was so good. I thought it was great TV. Destination X US. We went to UK. Let's talk about the US.
Love it.
We did. And honestly, I liked it. I did. I enjoyed this too. This is my first time getting to know Destination X and what this format was. And I enjoyed this format and I enjoyed it. And anytime you get Janae Craig on my screen, hello, I am here. Thank you, ma'am. And then it gave me an opportunity to finally see Pilot Pete in a show that I actually liked him in, because I didn't like him on The Bachelor. I didn't like him on The Traitors, but I kind of liked him on Destination X. So good on you, Destination X, for making Pilot Pete very tolerable for me on a show. I thought this was a good show. I enjoyed the winner of this show. I like the host of this show. I think he's I really like the host of this show. I thought this was a good start for U.S. Destination X for us to to introduce the American audience to this format and to this show. I thought it was a good show. I think they can do some things to make it better next season. Like, don't be bringing Janae or Peter in mid season. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to people because they don't have a chance. They just, even though Pete made it and did really well. I don't like that.
It wasn't worthwhile.
It wasn't like, it didn't pay off like I wanted it to pay off. So, but I thought it was a good show. I thought this was solid TV.
Go for it, David.
Okay. Yeah, I like this too. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty back and forth between which one I like better between UK and US. For me, this one feels very different. It feels a little bit more lighthearted because it gets kind of heavy at times with the UK. Also, I talked about how they didn't dumb things down in UK. But that all of that to say, like, I'm kind of glad they dumbed it down because I felt like I could play along with the US version. I didn't feel like that as much with the UK. I was kind of lost most of the time. But with this one, I was like, oh, I can make solid guesses based on these clues and whatnot. Plus, I found the winner to be extremely likable. I think my favorite person won both versions, actually. Ty, I thought was lovely. Meeting Ty in person a couple weeks ago was great. Love her. I do think she was kind of screwed. Like, I didn't like her treatment on the show. That was maybe one of the low points. But overall, I agree. I thought this was solid TV.
You are not watching Destination X US for trying to figure out the puzzle. You're just simply not, because most of the time it's so goddamn obvious. You're watching.
That's why I like it.
You are watching for the people, and this cast is really, really good. Watching Josh Martinez fuck up so violently in episode 1 was genuinely really entertaining because they hyped him up as this Big Brother winner and challenge superstar, and then he just dies on the spot.
Just like he does on the challenge.
And then we're genuinely left with this amazing newbie cast for a while, and then we bring in 2 more people, and then we bring in 2 people from love shows, and it just works. Like, there's a lot of good strategy, and everybody has moments where they really get to shine. And this was really great TV in my mind.
Can I ask a question as someone who did not watch a single second of this show? I know that Pilot Pete was one of the people that got brought on. Did you all like him on this? Because I remember we did not like him.
Yes. This
what made him tolerable.
Right.
Yeah. Because he understood what a strategic game needed to be. On Traitors, he didn't know what he was doing, and as such, he was annoying as shit.
And he was an underdog here too.
Right. And I think with him being on Traitors, coming to Destination X, that helped him build up his strategic prowess, and he was able to show it that what he learned from Traitors, he was able to put it into Destination X, and it worked. And so I honestly was like, if Peter goes on another show, another strategic show, I think he will be a force to be reckoned with, because I think he learns as he goes. He knew what he did wrong in Traitors. He put that to work onto Destination X, and now he can take it to something else and learn what he did wrong on Destination X, which wasn't a lot, because he really did a lot of things right on Destination X. And if he goes on another show, another strategic show, I think he'll be a force. And so I like seeing that trajectory. He did really well. So wait, you said great TV, Jack.
I did say great.
You said solid TV,
solid.
David? And I said solid too. So solid it is for Destination X. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. Let's talk Project Runway. Season 21 of Project Runway. Everybody but Jack watched Project Runway. So, Brook, since you didn't get to talk about Destination X, what did you think about Project Runway?
This season made me want to rip my hair out over and over and over and over and over again. I am not going to say anything about the fashion because, quite frankly, that is not anything to do with why I've been watching Project Runway this season. I'll be honest. I think a lot of the looks were great. Nothing to do with that. It literally has to do with two things. One, the twins. Two, Law Roach. I have seen Law Judge on 3 different reality shows now. On Legendary, where he was part of an entire group of people that all acted crazy at all times, and therefore it was fun. On Drag Race, where he's been mostly chill, so I can't really comment much there. And then on this show, where I feel like he is just there to be awful. Like, I cannot describe how much Law Roach ruined any enjoyment I had of the judging on this season of Project Runway. Also, not to mention, I think Heidi was also out of her mind half of this season. Specifically in how they were treating like Ethan with the whole Utica thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not biased. I love Utica. Utica's one of my favorite people from last season of Drag Race. I think Utica's great. And that is entirely the reason why I watched this season of the show. So naturally there is a bias there, but they're asking for Utica elements, and then Ethan does Utica things, and then they're like, oh, but we want Ethan, not Utica. What do you want from them? They can only do so much. The twins, both of their egos, annoying as shit. I am so happy they did not win, because I cannot stand to hear them yap anymore. And I yap. They yap more than I do. On the whole, the fashion saves this season from being a cancel now for me, because I think a lot of the looks this season were really good. But in terms of most of the characters on this season, the only ones I really liked were VJ, Ethan, and Melania. Like, that's pretty much it. Out of the people that made it far enough to have a developed personality.
Miss Joan made it far enough.
Okay, her too. I like Joan too. Okay. But like, again, but because they didn't really focus on her too much, so like, I feel irritated. Oh, and also the amount of team challenges we had on this season of Project Runway also far too much.
Okay, David.
Yeah, I mean, this was
first season, your only season.
Yes, my only season of US, at least now. Yeah, I started watching this season because Utica was on it. It worked. I know that's what they wanted, and it worked, at least for me. But I thought this was such a fun season. I was once again really impressed with the talent. I felt like this felt a bit more even. I mean, there's obviously people that were doing better, but like, people had highs and lows, and I appreciated that. For me, I thought this had great casting, great characters, great villains. I actually thought the twins were incredible television. I love them as characters. I wouldn't mind seeing them again. I love to hate them at times, but also I'm like, wow, they're actually really, really talented. VJ was an incredible character. I did not think she was going to go as far as she did, and then look what happened in the end. Did I agree with the win? Not necessarily, but I'm not mad because it's really about the journey for me, and I thought it was an incredible, fun journey. This is great TV.
I have to agree with David. You are so outnumbered here, Brook. This is so great TV. I enjoyed this season of Project 21, season 21. I do agree with you on certain things. Like, Heidi coming back, fine, but I don't think she added anything to the show. No. Like, I don't think she added anything. Like, they could have just did what they did last season, which was let the judges. It was not a host. I think Nina Garcia was kind of like the host, but not really. Heidi coming back it didn't do nothing for me. But I did enjoy this season. I thought it was so entertaining. The talent was there. We had good fashions come out of it. Some really great fashions come from it. We got to see Utica back on the screens for a lot of people who've been seeing Utica on their screens. I like that we got to see, because I think the last time we had somebody on Project Runway who openly did like drag, made costumes for drag artists was all the way back in season that I can remember was Chris March. And that was like back in early seasons, like 3, or I think it's season 3 or 4, 2 or 3. But anyway, But yeah, it's been I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the season. I was entertained by this season. It was great TV for me. It was great TV for me. 100% great TV. Squid Games, the challenge, season 2. We all knew somebody on this season that we knew very well and was excited to see them there. So let's talk about it. David, what did you think about Squid Games, the challenge, season 2?
Yeah, I think the bar was set pretty high for season one. Season one was fascinating to watch, other than the finale, which kind of left you with blue balls a little bit. But for me, I thought this was very, very good. There were highs, there were lows, there were characters we rooted for. I got super invested in some of these stories. I think my main issue with both seasons, though, is once we get to the final group of people in the finale, you kind of know who's going to win based on who's been featured consistently throughout the episodes. So I wish they could do a better job with that. I don't think the challenges were quite as good as season one, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think this is a high, solid TV for me.
Okay. Jet?
So, where I had a lot of problems with the end of season 1 and was pretty okay with like the beginning, here I had like annoying problems with the start of the season, and the finale also pissed me off for a variety of reasons. Why the fuck would Trinity give up at Final 5? And the last game being, well, Vanessa fucked up, and the other two kind of just died. Like they literally blinked over and died, and it was like, oh, and Pro the wins, and everyone's like, cool, I guess. I think the games were better. I will say, Shoots and Ladders is a vast improvement. It literally does exactly what Glass Bridge did, but made it more entertaining. And that's all I could hope for. There were multiple good characters on the season. It felt varied. Multiple games worked. I'm still surprised that somehow Mingle's ending wasn't scripted. That was all real somehow. I wish we'd seen more interesting mechanics as the season went on, but of course, 90% of what they actually did on the season is cut and or edited because it's not entertaining enough and they don't have enough drama. And they knew what they were doing with casting this season. They literally cast so many pairs of twins, so many pairs of people who knew each other. I think it's solid TV, but I don't know what they're going to do for season 3 to make it that much more different.
And Vanessa's another Big Brother Canada player.
Oh, yeah, no. Vanessa
still have one more to go.
Yep. For some reason, we still have one more.
See, here's the thing. I thought this season they fixed the things that they needed to fix from season 1, because I think season 1 was a little bit messy. And from production standpoint, I feel like they needed to tweak some things. And I think they did that for season 2. Starting off with not doing the red light, green light, I thought that was perfection. Like, don't start it off with red light, green light. I liked how they decided to get rid of half of the people with the counting game. It's simple. It's just something so simple of counting. And, and you get rid of half of a cast by just counting who can count the closest. I thought that was a good way. I liked the challenges in this game. Yeah, it's still some things that they could fix, but like, it's still season 2. It's like, let it go on a couple of more seasons and let them fix it and have time to fix it. I thought this was good. I enjoyed how the dynamics was. I agree with you, Jack. Shoots and Ladders or Slides and Ladders was by far so good to me. Like, I wanted that over. Like, I take that over Bridges anytime. Like, give me Shoots and Ladders every season, and I won't be mad at that. Like, make that a staple, like you do Marbles. I don't care. It was interesting characters. I think the cast made it a lot more entertaining for me this season because I was very much entertained. It was some people who I loved to just root for, and it was people who I loved to root against. It was a lot more, but then it was, but of course, with a cast that big, is also people you just like. I just don't know them, and you'll see them at events. They're like, "Oh yeah, I was on the Squid Games." You're like, "Were you?" Did not see you. Editing did you dirty. Sorry, girl, but it was fun. I just enjoyed this season. I felt like it flowed more naturally. Like I was invested. Like you put 4 episodes on, I was watching all 4 that night. Like I was watching all 4 because it was like you stop it. I gotta see what the heck happened, and I was watching some of the stuff at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, baby, go to sleep. But I need to know what happened because this is too good. So I think this was a good, solid season for me. I really enjoyed it.
The saying "we're rooting for everyone black" has now evolved to "we're rooting for everyone black and against everyone bald."
Period. Like all the baldies could go. I don't want to see no baldies. All the baldies could go. They were all terrible.
Isn't Mark
The
bald?
one
No, he's half bald.
He still
the
has some hair on his head.
exception I can think of almost throughout this entire year is Richard from Big Brother UK. Only bald person will accept on a TV show.
I really get
Everyone
bald.
else can burn.
What about Chris Daughtry? Can we accept him? I like him.
He's cool.
Yeah,
Was
that
he
works.
on TV this year?
Yeah, he's God of Ben.
I don't think
He
so.
he likes showing up to things. He was on The
I
Masked
love-
Singer several years ago.
Yeah,
love
he was
him.
great.
I do. But let's go to The Amazing Race, season 37. We talked about it here at length, Jack. So let's let David start us off with this one.
Okay, so I had not watched Amazing Race in a while. I think I kind of stopped around the early 20s. And I tuned back in just for the reality TV one that we got with the Survivors and Amazing Race and Big Brother teams. But since we were about to get the Big Brother cast coming up for 38, I was like, well, let me tune in. Let me see if there's any new twists that I haven't seen over the years. Let me see what it's like. Much to my surprise, this is a little bit of a spoiler. I actually like 37 more than 38. I was into it. I think it helped having a lot of likable people, a really likable group of queer people as well, which was pretty cool to see. Like there were so many queer teams that just you were rooting for them, and not just them. Like Scott and Lori were awesome. Pops and Jeff were great. The winners were my favorites from the beginning, so I love Carson and Jack. And it felt really old school with a villain that we got. I can't remember his name, but like that really gave me flashbacks to like I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, with the jerk husband who pushed his wife over. But he was kind of giving me those vibes.
What was his
Yes.
in something? Jonathan Victoria.
Yeah.
And I remember because she's the one that punched Johnny Fairplay on the Fear Factor reality TV show episode.
Right. Yep. So yeah, I found this to be really refreshing, and I was happy I tuned in. I have reasons why this worked for me a little bit better than season 38, and we'll get into that later. But for me, this was, I'm going to say great. This was great TV.
Good.
This was, even with the amount of twists that they threw at the season, it still felt like pretty standard Amazing Race. There are a couple twists that fell flat. The driver's seat still needs to be tweaked. Even after we've seen it in 38, I genuinely think it's just a bad idea and it needs to burn. But there were so many small things on the season that just worked, and this cast genuinely just all gelled together and made really, really entertaining content. Outside of those two that I don't want to talk about.
Jonathan.
So, I mean, outside of him, I love everyone from this cast. Great TV.
agree with you. I do love that. And as much as I said I didn't like Jonathan on the season, but I appreciate Jonathan after the season owning up to what he did, knowing he was wrong, knowing he needed realize what his mistakes were, getting help for it. So I could say, Jonathan, you're okay. You're okay. But that was hard to watch. But I love this season. I thought this season was so good. And I agree with you, David. Some of my favorite people were on this cast. You had Pops and Jeff, you had Lori, Scott and Lori, you had Mark and Brett. It was just like so good. Han and Holden, and then Carson. Like they were just a group of likable people.
Can we also say that Jeff recognized you when we met him in person a couple weeks ago? He's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you review our show on YouTube," and
they talk
no idea.
Like,
Yeah,
and some of the nicest people, and Pops one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like Pops literally saw me every time he saw me all weekend. Hey, my girl hugged me every single time he saw me, and we walked past each other several times that weekend. And every time it was a hug, it was a hey, it was a, they were so sweet. I thought this was such an amazing cast, and I think this was so fun to watch. I thought this was great TV. I enjoyed the season. And I agree with you, David. I enjoyed it a little bit more than I enjoyed 38. I'll put it up in the great TV. Do we all agree? Great TV?
Yeah.
great.
Great.
Yeah, I've watched everything left.
Yeah, we all have.
Brook is back in this conversation. Back in it. Australia versus the world. I'm just gonna put it out there. Let me just say this, and I'm gonna start it out. I'm just say it. This is superior TV. If it's not superior to anybody else, I don't understand you.
Let's just put it up there to start.
For me, it's superior TV because I'm just gonna put it there. If y'all tell me to move it later, we'll move it.
Can you put it in that first spot?
Period.
I don't know about that, but
oh well, you're outvoted with that because ain't none of us watch culinary things.
For sure.
But
yeah,
definitely,
I'm just saying personally, for me, this is the single best individual season of Survivor I have ever watched in my entire life. From beginning to end, every single tribal council hit. If they're going to fire JLP, he went out on a damn banger. And you know what? I'm bitter about it still, but you know what? Parvati's a 2-time Survivor winner, and that's all that matters to me. And you know, this probably gave Saria a wake-up call, and she practiced fire making before she went back for 50. So I mean, everyone wins. Except for Tony fans, and they can stay losing. Like, I don't care. Yeah, this was an incredible season of television. Every single tribal council was incredible. And it was really fun to get to see people in like that I haven't seen in a minute. Specifically Lisa, because I love Lisa. So I was very happy to see Lisa. But great season of TV. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And we all talked about it. We were all here podcasting about the seasons. Go check that out if you didn't see. I absolutely agree. This felt so refreshing. It's funny because for a few years now, I've been saying, Australia is outpacing US when it comes to quality of Survivor. And I'm a big fan of Survivor in general. So I do love the US still. But this kind of showed like the final nail in the coffin for me on that debate. Because we're getting these US players on here and it's still just so incredible. Even the people I didn't feel invested going into the season, like I didn't know all the people from Finland or Quebec or whatever, but I really grew invested in them as well. I didn't actually know Lisa. I just knew of her. She was so fun to watch. This was incredible from start to finish. I said at the time, this is a top 3 Survivor season ever for me. I still kind of feel that way. Like I would have to really go through everything, but now that I'm a few months out, I still love it just as much as I did when we were covering it. This is the superior of the superior.
Yeah, no, this is just an incredible season where everybody out the gate hits the ground running. There's genuinely Never a moment where this season slows down. Are some of the twists bullshit? Yes. Welcome to Australian Survivor. This is how it is. But like even then, it's like, yeah, so we're sending you both to tribal council, but we're gonna have you make fire, and that determines who's safe. It's like some weird stuff like that, but it still works. And I mean, this is once again, this is like, okay, great. So how can I watch Tommy's original season? How can I watch Cass's original season? Like, these are questions that I've now asked because of the show. And the simple answer is good fucking luck. But overall, this is just an amazing season.
Or you can just ask David and he'll give it to you.
Or, yeah, that's true.
David, I just realized that you said Tommy.
And
I forgot about that, Dave.
Yep.
No, always Tommy. And yeah, great season. We got Sari back on my screen. We got Parvati again to win, and forever will be none for Russell.
None for Russell Hantz.
Always none for Russell Hantz. So superior by far.
What was he, like a third boot on his season of Aussie?
Second.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
And none for Russell Hantz.
And none for Russell Hantz. Not even in Australia. But let's stay in Australia because we have Brains versus Braun, which I again thought was an amazing season of Survivor. I have not been so into Survivor in such a long time. I was so invested. Like, this was the season that when David said it's up, I was like, give it to me. Even before David said it was up, I found my own channel. I was like, I'll find it. It's on YouTube. I'll find it myself. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to post it no more. I find it. I was so invested in Brains versus Braun, and I was so into it, and I loved every second of it. The mess, the hot messes. It was some hot messes going on in the first half of the season. I was like, ooh, this is so messy. You a hot mess. You a hot mess. I like you. You a hot mess. I like you too. It was just the cast was amazing. The season was amazing. The outcome I loved. Like, what can I say? I would say superior for me because I thought this was a superior season of Survivor. I loved it.
I liked it a lot. Comparing it to the things that I know that are in superior right now, I would probably put it in great TV. But, and again, I didn't watch Love Island. Is that Traitors UK? I heard very good things about the season of Traitors UK. The other two things that I did watch that are in superior are some of the best reality TV I've watched. There are a couple of times this season where the game gets a little slow. And that's fine. It doesn't need to be all gas, no brakes the entire time. I don't expect that out of a bigger season even. But for the most part, this is still an incredible season of Survivor. One of my favorite winners of Survivor the past decade. I think Miles is an incredible winner. And like, on the whole, I really liked it. And I actually have a very unique experience because I didn't watch it while it was airing. I went back and watched it after I covered that one episode. I was like, I want to go back and rewatch what I missed. And it was fun doing that. I actually, even though I already knew pretty much what had to happen to get to the final four and final five that I did cover on the channel, it was fun to go back and watch these episodes anyway. And I'm not normally one for rewatching reality shows that soon after I know what happens. I usually wait a couple years and then do the rewatch. So this was really great for me. I would put it in great TV, but that's just me.
Well, I'm gonna side with Lana here. For me, this is superior. For me, they struck Turkey. This is our third strike in a row with seasons for Australian Survivor, and then we got the fourth one with Heroes versus the World. Sorry, this was just so much fun from start to finish for me. For me, there were no lulls. I thought it had some of the best casting I've seen in a while. I loved Karen. I loved Kaylin. I loved Miles. I loved Paulie. Like so many good characters, even great villains like AJ. Which aren't we going to see AJ on? Oh yes, we are going to see AJ on something.
He's doing.
We'll talk
Traitors
about him
Australia.
next year. Yes,
Yep.
that's right.
Mhm.
I'm
So
about to say yes, we are.
Which is an incredible casting choice, Traitors Australia.
Oh,
Good
it
on
was an
sure.
incredible
Good
casting
stuff.
choice. They knew exactly what they were doing.
for sure.
He's gonna go home second, but it's fine.
You never know.
He's gonna vanish the first day, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, especially that Brain Tribe is one of the most entertaining hot mess tribes I've seen in years. So superior television for me.
I think this is the best Brain Tribe since the first Brain Tribe, to be honest with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Jack, what you think? Where do
This-
you fall?
I mean, I could say everything I wanted, but basically everything else has been said. The only thing I will say is Morgan got shit treatment on this season, and she deserves better. And that is the one thing in my mind that is like, Australian Survivor is amazing. How people of color are treated on this show in particular is horrendous and needs to be addressed immediately, and also just have more, because we get a very, very small few, and this happens consistently, and it shouldn't. Other than that, it is an incredible season. I do agree that it should be superior.
I was about to say, oh no, we're gonna have to go into a.
Right. I was like,
I do not mind. I just was trying to like make sure that we were discussing, but I have no problem with it.
Okay, let's move on to Big Brother 27.
This season is weird.
I know. I'm so
Because
conflicted.
Because it has such amazing highs, but then has things that make me want to never watch this show again. Like, oh my god, we have Rachel Riley and she's running the game, and then she gets shot. We have the BB Blockbuster coming back, and it's providing all these entertaining moments, and players haven't realized how to actually use it yet. We have such interesting strategists on the season, and then we have Vince who keeps winning. Like, there's literally, for every single thing I love about this season, there's something that will make me never want to watch it again. And it's so difficult, because at that point it's like, yeah, no, it's solid TV. And like, it got the emotions out of me. But like, they're doing so many things right, but also doing so many things wrong.
If the White Locust did not exist, this would be superior television for me. Having watched and covered this entire season of Big Brother, was it always positive feelings? No. There's always going to be things that happen on a show like Big Brother where you're like, fuck, really? My faves didn't win, right? I don't need my faves to win every little thing in order for me to be satisfied, right? That's kind of the fun of the show for me, is having the power shift, back and forth and back and forth. And granted, when we got to the jury, it didn't really do that. But because Morgan was controlling Vince's HOHs and executing the game she wanted, it didn't always feel like Vince was in control the entire time. We got to see subtle moves that really benefited Ashley while she's doing all the social gaming on the back end. And also, the jury was only 3 weeks long. It didn't really bother me very much at the end game. The pre-jury was so entertaining this season. The White Locust could have been like a zombie week kind of thing that murdered the momentum of the season, but in my opinion, it wasn't. I'm just very satisfied with the outcome. I think Ashley winning was so refreshing. After it seems like the show wants to lean more and more into the competitions, having a social winner who literally only won 2 competitions the entire season, bucking that trend makes me very happy. I don't want to speak too soon, but out of our last 4 seasons of Big Brother, 3 of them have been incredible. And I'm hopeful that we can keep this trend going and that we're moving in the right direction with the show.
Mm-hmm.
I would personally put it in great TV, because the White Locust is legitimately one of the worst things that happened on reality TV this year. But other than that one thing, the season was perfect.
Man, I wish I felt the way you do, Brooke. For me, sometimes I'm like, why do I still put myself through this show? Because for me, I haven't like fully enjoyed a season of Big Brother probably since season 20. Of course, there's been things that I have enjoyed, like seeing the cookout do well is great. Seeing Taylor overcome the odds and win was great. And this had great things too, as well, especially seeing one of my all time favorites come back and kind of run things until she didn't. But that also was just so infuriating too. Like there were times where I'm like, gosh, I'm done with Big Brother. Like, end this show because they're not getting it right. There's something that is just not working for me. Canada was doing great for the longest time before they got rid of live feeds. But for me, like, I've been kind of back and forth between Cancel Now and Solid TV with this season. So I think for me, it's a meh. And that's largely thanks to having a winner I could be at least happy about.
So if we saw the podcast, everybody saw I was supposed to be there for the entirety of this season. I was not. Because I rage quit. And even though I was the one like telling people, let's not rage quit people, we shouldn't rage quit.
Yeah, you got a good reason.
It was so hard for me. And I did finish the season. I just didn't want to talk about it. And that's what it came down to. And when it's certain things, you're like, I just don't even want to talk about this because I know I'm not going to be a positive light or something that should be on a podcast. I don't want to put my energy out there. And that's what it felt like. I enjoyed the winner. I enjoyed the outcome. I just didn't enjoy watching it and how it made me feel while I was watching it the entire time. But I agree with you, Brooke. I think a good season is not the season that's just everything that it goes the way you want it to go every single week and your favorites always winning. A good season is making you feel whatever, even if it's good or bad, but you still watch. Like if I hate a season, but I'm still watching because I'm rage hating watching it, something is keeping me hooked onto this season, and that makes a good season of television. And so I feel like this season was that season for me. Like I didn't always enjoy watching it, but I continued to watch it. So something had me hooked. So for me, as much as I want to meh, I was with you. I was with you, David. I was like, meh or cancel it or solid. For what it made me feel, good or bad, I could have to give it solid TV because I still think it was solid. I still think it did its job.
Mm-hmm. So where does that stand for everyone?
I think great, 2 solids and a meh, so it would just be solid.
Okay. So solid. Will I go back to rewatch the season?
No.
Maybe.
No.
I will watch clips of it online. I think one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen at the end of a season is the Vince crash out at the second part of the final HOH. Genuinely one of the most lovely things, because we'd heard about it on the feeds. We weren't sure if we were going to get to see it. Artistry. Especially because it was Vince's fault for fucking up.
I also would like to add, I was going to mention this a second ago, but I forgot to do it. The mastermind reveal, I gagged. And like, to be clear, Jesse didn't shock me. Frankie didn't shock me. Eric Stein gagged me. I was gooped, gagged, betriveled, all of the other Alyssa Edwards-isms that could be thrown in here. And now Eric is officially back as part of the Big Brother family and like is open to returning in the future as a player. Please, dear God, CBS, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, I also want to shout out somebody who I felt kind of got it harder than they deserve from the fans. But Mickey, I know she's going through some health issues right now. She has a GoFundMe, and it's doing incredibly well. But feel free to donate if you want to help her out. Yeah, and she was super sweet in person.
Yes.
And to be clear, when we say health issues, these are pretty serious health issues.
Very serious.
She had multiple heart attacks from what I saw.
Yeah.
Heart attack, cardiac arrest from flu complications is just a bad time.
Yeah, so she's she's in a rough spot right now. So if can we link the GoFundMe in the description?
I mean, we'll try to link that in there. And if you want to donate, please go do so. Send all your positive vibes. If you're a prayer person, pray for her. Whatever your positive energy, send that to her. Yeah, because she was so sweet in person, and that's why it kind of messed me up to hear that when I saw that. I was like, wait, no, I just saw her. Like she's, but yeah, please do it for her. Pray for her. That my thoughts and my prayers are with her. And yeah, we'll try to link that GoFundMe into the description below. Please let me remind myself to write that to do that. Next we got to Get Out, our first and only probably season of Got to Get Out on Hulu, and I'm sad it's not coming back because I actually thought the show could do something if they just did some tweaks like in any first season. And yeah, like you said, David, every season should get 2 seasons to get a chance to fix what their first season issues were, unless it's just like really, really, really bad. But I thought this had chops, this had bones. Like if they just fixed some things, this could have been a really good season. And I was actually entertained by this season. I thought this was an entertaining season. I thought the concept was fun. I loved seeing people who we would never expect to see do well on a show like this actually do well. Sheree, I mean, I just like this season. I like this cast. Most of them anyway. Some of them are forgettable. There's some people who are forgettable. I know they had a lot of problems, production wise on this season as well. But that it gave us Liar Steve. And if you Liar Steve, I'm not mad at it because Steve not only was so fun to watch, he's just a fun person, friend of the pod. I just really like Steve. And so I thought this was a fun concept. For me, honestly, I thought this was great TV. I was entertained.
Yeah, I kind of want to add on to that. We have that like first season Traitors energy where they bring back some reality TV people and it's some newbies coming in. So it's like a good mix. I cannot believe I'm saying these words, but I actually enjoyed Spencer Pratt on a TV show.
On a TV show?
Yeah, it's weird. But no, Spencer Pratt was unironically one of my favorite parts of the show. I loved watching him on this. Also, shout outs to Cynthia, Queen, girl.
Queen
Winner. Yeah. And then also, God, the ending of this show is one of the most satisfying endings to any reality show I have ever watched in my entire life. Because he knew what was going to happen. They weren't going to split the money with him. No, screw that. We are all taking home 50, 40 grand and you are going to deal with it. Camp. It was so fucking... As a big believer in if you're not going to help me, I'm not going to help you. When it comes to a game like this, right? Mm-hmm. And I need to look out for me. And if you're not going to help me, why would I help you? Right? Him hitting the button. Steve. Oh, you ate. Steve so ate hard.
That last half of that episode. This season, like Steve ate.
Yeah. My only real knock is I think the observation tower is a bit much from time to time. With the bell specifically, I think the bell with the observation tower kind of made it a little too hard at times for people to get out. That's why we only got the one successful escape, and that's because Cynthia did her job so damn well that like it just never happened. And also the whole why were the people that were allowed to just go outside and ruin the trash can mission, which I'm still pissed about that too. But some of these escapes were so entertaining. Some of these characters were so fun. I wish this got another season. I hope this does somehow miraculously survive the Hulu Disney Plus merger, and maybe we get one more season. I doubt it, but I would love to see it because I don't think this show could have cost them that much. Like it can't have cost them that much money.
This show is so weird because on paper, this show is so much fun and it's chaos. And it's also, once again, one of the shows where it's like, oh, we have a big name attached to it, who never sees the contestants and could have been added in post, and no one would have.
It's our trifecta of non-host hosts.
But this show's concept works. I unfortunately disagree with the ending being entertaining or satisfying. From a narrative standpoint, I get it, but it's just this big buildup to finally, they're putting all these obstacles out. Someone's going to escape, and Steve just settles for less money. Steve probably would have gotten at least a cut. And it did suck to just be like, well, we've now been sitting here for 3 days, and we all just get to go home with $40,000, and that's kind of the end of it. The interesting part of this game is the escapes. The interesting part of the show is the challenges. And they cut out so much of this game because it was a production nightmare. From what we've heard behind the scenes, cops were called and multiple people had problems. But they also assembled the most chaotic reality stars they could and went, kill each other. So they kind of got what they were getting. I ultimately am very happy with what we got. I would have loved to have seen a season 2. It's not going to happen. This is solid TV.
Okay. Well, I love this show. I will go ahead and say this is my favorite new format for a reality show since Claim to Fame. And I was obsessed with Claim to Fame.
Real.
This was so refreshing to me because it didn't follow that standard format that kind of gets old, like somebody's eliminated at the end of every episode. I felt this was so refreshing. I liked that the stakes were high, but it was not easy to escape. I do think ideally a season should have at least 2 successful escapes. We only got 1 this season. So yeah, it would have been nice to see 1 more near the end of the season. But I think if it had lasted longer, if we got multiple seasons, we'd probably see it go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 1 to and so on between that number of escapes. But I also really love the cast. It's so cool when I know somebody who ends up on a reality show. I've known Steve Helling for years. We've been going to the same charity event. I've been going to it since 2014. He's been going longer than I have. So I've interacted with him a lot. He actually was telling me about the format of the show last year, and it was like, oh, this seems like a pipe dream. And sure enough, I actually really loved it. It also introduced me to Susan, and I found her so freaking entertaining. I kind of want to go watch her season of The Golden Bachelor now, just because she's
so
wild.
Funny. Watching her try to do her escape plans whenever she got them was so damn funny. Gets an escape plan, falls asleep, and misses the window. Like, nobody but Susan.
Right.
Icon. I love her to death.
Yeah, this out of all 54 shows we're talking about today, this would be high on my list of shows I would rewatch.
Oh yeah, I'll rewatch it.
Yeah, this is really close to Superior for me. I think I am gonna go with Great, but I really love
TV.
this.
I absolutely love this. I thought this was great TV.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Oh well. Okay, sorry. I'll move. Great TV.
There we go.
Computer started doing some weird stuff just now. Mm-hmm. Great TV for me.
Brooke, were you trying to control that?
Maybe.
Brooke was like,
actually, it was Jack that said.
Jack was like, no, solid. Okay. $1 Million Secret, another new show that came out this season. Brooke, let's let you start with $1 Million Secret.
The show pisses me off so bad. Because this on paper could be one of the coolest formats we have had for a reality show in ages. But they don't understand how to make it work yet. And it bugs me because the idea of one of you is already a millionaire. That's it, right? And you have to try to figure out who has the money so that the money can move. That's enough, right? If you think you're going to get caught with the money, move the money to someone else. Okay, cool. I hate the end game of this show. basically coming down to the luck of were you the person who got lucky enough to get the briefcase? That's so lame and so dumb. There were elements of the show I really like. I think some of the missions were fun. I think a lot of the casting choices were good on this first season. The girl that had the money first, whose name I'm forgetting currently, she's one of my favorite characters on reality TV this year. But like, I think they really need to tweak the end game of this show if they're going to bring it back. Just personally, I think it's just really way too luck dependent at the end, because by the time you've gotten there, in theory, you voted out over half of the cast. And then it just comes down to luck. That's so dumb. And also, if I have the briefcase, why would I ever want to give it away? If they think I have it, they're going to vote me out anyway, right? None of the people who got rid of the briefcase ever got it back. Like,
here's the thing, and it's the major problem I have with the show. The goal of the show is to vote out the person with the money. Except for that doesn't matter. They're going to give it away in 2 episodes. Vote out anyone you want. The second that a cast realizes this, the game shatters. They need incentive to vote out the person with the money. Maybe your briefcase currently has nothing in it. Every single round you hold it, you get either guaranteed money or the briefcase money goes up, meaning that you actually have to worry about keeping the briefcase. At the moment, there is no purpose game-wise to actually hold the briefcase, aka have the $1 million secret. And that is my main problem with the show, is it's such a good format with a massive gaping hole in the middle.
Yeah, and to build on that, I want to specifically mention, you said there's no incentive to vote out with the person with the money. Yeah, that's literally why they voted out Lauren. Because Lauren had the money. They figured out it was her because the clues that they're... Oh, also, the clues are broken. The clues in this game are so overpowered, it's crazy. Claim to fame was at least a little subtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you all are addressing a lot of the issues I had with the show. I thought you all were going to come in a lot higher than me. But yeah, it just does feel like a format that doesn't fully work. Like, there's no reason that people shouldn't immediately make an alliance and just vote out everybody else. It's not like the traitors where you don't know who the traitors are, but you know there's multiple ones. In this one, you know there's one person. So as long as you know who that is and keep them around, and sure, they might give away their money, which is that's a good thing that they have in the show. I did not think that was going to be part of the format at first. And I was like, oh, this is just setting up everybody to get voted off as soon as those clues come out, because the clues are so obvious. So yeah, it was just a very frustrating format for me. The characters I thought were fine. I don't think there was a single star in this cast, you know? Like, nobody was on... Like, if I had to pick the number one star out of all of these shows I've watched, this star for this season, I don't even know who. The cop, maybe? She would be at the bottom of the list of rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the show, for me, I think I might be a little higher on the show than the three of you. I liked it. Did they have some things that I felt was like frustrating? Yes, absolutely. But I also chalked it up to it being its first season,
and we are getting a second one.
Right. And we're going to get a second one to see if they fixed it, what was wrong, because it was some things that was very much wrong with the format of the season. But with what it was, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting enough to make me want a second season. It was interesting enough to make me want to watch it through to see how it ended. Because some shows you start watching, you're like, oh, this is frustrating, and now I don't want to watch it anymore because I'm super frustrated with it. It didn't get to that point for me. It never got to the frustration where I don't want to watch it anymore. And even if we weren't podcasting about it, I would still want to finish it and watch it and see what happens. So I think for me, it was a meh season, and that's not in a bad way. It's just it needs more time to develop. They need to be able to flesh it out a lot more for me and figure out the nuances to how to not overpower the clues and not to make the clues so much obvious. And because I feel like Phil was one of the people who got seriously screwed because of what they had them doing. And so I kind of figure out, like, for me, it was meh. It was meh. I don't know.
I agree. Meh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agree meh?
Yeah.
Meh. Meh, it is.
I'd maybe argue it up to like if we somehow had a category between meh and solid TV, because it was like one step above. Okay.
Right. I get that. I get that. Let's talk Survivor.
Are you muted, Brooke? I feel like you're talking, but we
sorry.
can't hear you.
I said I just feel like there's so many kinks in the show that they need to work out that I can't really put it anywhere higher than meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agreed. Let's move to Survivor 48. We're almost done. We're almost done. So 48. Survivor 48. I fear like we should start with the Survivor expert on the panel on this point. So David,
go for it, David.
Okay, this is the worst season of Survivor in the new era for me. And it's great TV. It is great TV. I know this is going to be a hot take, but I love Survivor. Like, the worst Survivor seasons are great to me. There was a lot of frustrating things. There were weird dynamics between Eva and Star, which kind of made the season icky. And it seemed kind of like strength-based. Let's go, men. If you have muscles, you're good. If you don't, you're bad, which is my least favorite kind of Survivor. But we had the foils in there that actually really improved the season, especially Kyle and Camilla. Kyle and Camilla were the saving grace for this season. For me, Kyle is my favorite new era winner. I thought he was great. He made moves when he needed to. He had 3 strong episodes where he really came out, and then he let it ride when he needed to let it ride. So I found this to be a highly entertaining season of Survivor that was disappointing, but I still loved it. This is great TV.
You know, when a season of Survivor is so bad that the most memorable thing about it in my mind is someone who goes out pre-jury. Say literally ran this season. I'm so sorry. The fact that she didn't make it to merge. The fact she did make it to merge. The fact that she wasn't on the jury is a crime against humanity. The whatever the fuck happened on the Green Tribe here is genuinely the most insane content I have ever seen on Survivor, and the more unhinged we make these people, the better. I don't want to talk about Joe and Eva because that whole storyline pissed me off. I understand that it was great representation and felt great. It was annoying to see, and it's being infected into 50 when Joe does not deserve his spot on there because he didn't want to play the fucking game. But I want to see Kyle and Camilla actually get a shot to play the game with legends, so I'm happy for them. This is meh at best.
I just want to interject. I do think Joe thought he was playing the game. He just felt comfortable. He thought he was in a great position. He thought he was going to get all the votes in the end, so he didn't need to do anything extra. But he was wrong, thankfully.
He was wrong, and if there's an archetype like Joe on this show again, no.
I'm gonna jump off what Jack just said. I don't feel like this season of Survivor is a season of Survivor. There are, and this is also a problem I've had with a couple of New Era seasons, but I'm going to specifically talk about 48, and I'm also going to mention Winners at War here, even if it's not New Era. Winners at War is not Survivor because the game is fundamentally changed with the addition of fire tokens in a way that I don't like. Here, because of the dynamics of the social situations, it makes it impossible for people to play Survivor. This is in my bottom 3 of Survivor seasons all time. And it would be in my bottom 2 if Island of the Idols didn't have Dan on that cast. I just, there was nothing for me to come back to the season for after the merge. The pre-merge was entertaining mainly because we were on Vula a lot, and that was a disaster of a tribe that was entertaining. But honestly, out of everyone that made the merge, I found 2 people to be entertaining, and luckily one of them won, so at least there's that. But like, I just cannot possibly explain the depths of my absolute malaise for this season. I don't want to say cancel now because it's not applicable to my feelings of Survivor. But if I had an option of every Survivor season being at the quality level of 48, I would cancel the show. So cancel now. That's just where I'm at.
That's your fair. That's your opinion. For me, I found,
if you put it solid TV, I will crack up. But go on.
I mean, honestly,
Superior TV. Next question.
Honestly, because as frustrating as I found 48 with some of the things that was going on, I also found myself rooting very hard for the people I was rooting hard for. Like, because it was people who I just honestly just did not like so much that I wanted to root against them so hard, and I wanted to root for the people who I like so much. I was invested. And therefore, you get me invested in a season for whatever the reason is, I can't really be that mad at it. And I liked the outcome. I liked the gameplay that we had from the people who was actually playing the game. And like you said, David, I think Joe was playing, but I think, or thought he was playing, but he was so comfortable, and he had every right to be, because everybody made him feel that way. He had every right to feel very comfortable in that game, because everybody literally made him feel like he could do no wrong. Every time Joe's name was mentioned, folks was like, oh, no. Where we going after Joe? We can't go after Joe. So he had every right to feel that way. So he played in the environment that was presented for him. So do it feel like he maybe has taken up a spot in 50? To some, sure. And I can understand why people feel that way. But honestly, he played the game that was presented to him. So he played the game. So I feel like as much as we want to, because I don't feel like 48 was top tier season. Like, never is that going to be a thing. It's never going to be a top tier. But the people who was in it that I liked, I really, really liked. Like, I adore Star. Like, you can never make me hate Star.
The best person in person too.
And then, like I'm about to say, and now meeting her, there's no way you can make me hate Star. Even in the show, I was like, Star is my heart and soul of the show. Like, when she got eliminated, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now because Star's gone. I'm sad. I love her. And I enjoyed Say so much, even though they were trying to make her out to be the villain. I'm like, why are y'all making her out to be the villain when she was just literally playing a game? And if it was any man doing it, he would be a beast. Like, oh, we love him. He's great. He's one of these villains that we love. But now that it's her, she's horrible. Like, I don't know.
There's
I
the
don't
cast quote when you need it.
Right. Like, I don't like that at all. So I feel like for me, it's solid TV. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was solid TV because I enjoyed it, and I was invested, and even if I wasn't podcasting about it, I would watch it all the way through. So
I am willing to move to meh because my reaction is mostly just my personal feelings. Objectively, meh is probably the actuality.
You didn't want the tiebreaker, did you?
No, because I don't know what we're gonna do for it. We all had different opinions.
I got to vote from Logan. In case it was a 4-way tie.
That's it.
What did Logan say?
Logan put solid.
Fine. I don't. I think it is the most valid way to break a tie.
Also, I just realized a dilemma. If we're rooting for everyone black but against everyone bald, How do we feel about Cedric?
Cedric is a mess.
Cedric was a mess and a half, though.
Here's the thing: we're rooting for everyone black, and against everyone bald. Rooting for everyone black takes precedence.
It takes
Okay.
precedent over baldness.
But
Like-
in the tier list of people that we're rooting for that are black, do bald people come in lower?
Yes.
Yes,
He's at the bottom of
because
the team. I root for him, but he's going to be the last person I root for who's black.
rooting for him, but on thin fucking ice.
But you know what? I don't know about that. I don't know about that because what do I do about Will? Because I loved Will.
Okay, wait.
But he's the exception that proves
Will
the rule.
from 30?
He's the
No,
exception to the
Will
rule.
from Big Brother.
Fuck.
Yeah, he wears
I
that.
love
there's too
Will.
many
And
things.
Pops was bald too, and I can't be mad at
Yeah,
Pops.
wait,
Like
no. Actually, there's too many problems with the
too
rule.
many problems. We can't.
We root for everyone black, and we root against everyone white and bald.
White and bald.
White.
We have to add the white.
Period.
We have to
Because
specify.
I can't do that to Will and Pops. I can't do it. But anyway, we sticking in Survivor and let's just go to 49. We just literally wrapped that up. And there's some I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm gonna go in reverse order this time. So Jack, you start us off on 49.
This is weird because on one hand, this has such a similar trajectory to 48, except it's not an entertaining pre-merge. And then you have the issue of this whole season being outshined by 50. Literally halfway through the season, and 50 is going to be a thing, and that's why all of the entertaining stuff during the merge happens. But the merge is such entertaining content where Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie without an E run circles around everyone else. And other than Nate being hit first, which adds to our black butt bald counter, which is getting
Nate.
surprisingly high.
I like Nate too.
I'm gagged.
This season is genuinely so good from the merge on, but the pre-merge, I stopped watching this show. I'll be honest with you, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what happens already. They're just not doing anything interesting. It was such a slog. The secret was probably the most interesting thing about pre-merge. And it was fun.
Not the secret.
But yeah, no. Having Nicole and then Annie and then Jeremiah go out, and then Matt and Jason, it was genuinely bad. Shannon could go. That was fun. But
And Matt can go because he spoke ill of the queen. You don't do that.
Hello?
How dare you?
But
How very dare you?
this is solid TV for the merge and the merge alone. The merge is great TV. Pre-merge is cancel.
Wolf. Got you.
I respectfully disagree. I really liked this pre-merge, actually. And maybe I'm wild for that. Was it predictable? Sure. But it was at least entertainingly predictable for me. I liked a lot of the characters here. I liked getting to see a lot of these people play the game and see their strategy. Does the Nicole thing continue to piss me off? Absolutely. I think it's bullshit. But you know what? Jake got bit by a snake, and I think that kind of reset how this game could have went. That 3-person Kelly tribal is one of the most entertaining tribals in a pre-merge I've seen in a long time, because you really didn't know how it was going to go, what the direction was going to take. We figured it would probably be Jeremiah, but there is that other option of maybe Alex gets cocky. Maybe Soph just lulls Alex into a false insecurity. Maybe Soph doesn't get what she wants here. Alex figures it out and votes her out. There's a lot of interplay that could have happened there. And granted, the predictable outcome came true, but they played with the options so much that it was entertaining for me. Yes, the Jason vote was legitimately probably the most boring vote of the season. I'm not going to argue that. The Matt vote was satisfying because you don't talk ill of Sandra, and Shannon can also go. But this merge was just incredible from start to finish. I loved literally every minute of this merge. Thank you so much for not making us earn our merge. Thank you. I've been so sick of it. Thank you. But yeah, I just really enjoyed almost everything here. My only problem with this entire season is that we already knew, if you were even looking anywhere online, you knew who the two people from 49 that were coming back for 50 were. And because of that, you had to assume that they were going to make it deep into the game. It just made sense logically. And one of them won and one of them made it to the Final Four. Like, it is what it is. I think that actually clouded my feelings on the season because that made the game that predictable for me, that much more predictable. But besides that, I can't really blame the season for that. I don't think it's the season's fault that happened. It's just because they filmed 50 after 49, we had to know. So yeah, I would personally give this season great TV. I enjoyed this so much more than 48.
Mm-hmm. You're muted.
This is me. Sorry. Yeah. So for me, first of all, I want to address the fact that we knew that they were on season 50. For me, that gave them safety until the merge because everybody who's on 50 has made the merge. I didn't necessarily know anything beyond that. They weren't really in danger before the merge, so it was never something that I was actually like, well, I know they're safe, even though their name's being tossed around. But all bets were off once they made the merge. But I really enjoyed this season. I think, it did take a while to pick up for me. I think a lot of the issues people did have with the season, it goes back to the key phrase of this podcast, diminishing returns. If you take season 49, bump it up to season 41, people love it, you know? But it's just the fact that we've seen this format so many times in a row. It's getting a little stale, but the cast is where it thrives. Especially, I really connected with this trio of Savannah, Sophie, and Rizzo. For me, they gave me the same kind of vibes I got from Todd, Courtney, and Amanda in Survivor China. Like this likable, snarky trio of young people that makes it all the way to the Final Four together. They made it to Final 3 together in China, but close enough. Yes.
Love you.
But yeah, there was enough for me to love about this season. That this is very, very strongly a great season for me.
Brooke, I hate you so much, but I love you all at the same time because I agree. Who wants to date a girl who doesn't make the merge? Who doesn't make the merge? Shut up. Like, I should not even looked at that, but okay.
I to the merge. I thought I had it.
It's so fun. It's so fun. But yeah, I think this was great TV because once the merge, and I think I agree with Jack a little. The pre-merge was a little, but I still watched it. Was it predictable? Maybe. Was it a little? Maybe. But I liked it. I still watched it. But the merge, I for me, Survivor is at the end. Like, you start Survivor and it's good, but when it get to merge, it's a whole new game. And I like the second half of the game. And if you give me a good merge, that makes a good season of Survivor for me. Like, I love a good pre-merge. I do. Trust, I love a good pre-merge. But if you give me a great merge, that's a great season. And they kind of gave us a really, really, really good merge. Like, I enjoyed, even though people didn't like the some of the theatrics of Rizzo, I enjoyed that. Was Savannah painted as a mean girl? Sure. Was she kind of a mean girl? A little bit. But am I mad that she was a mean girl? Absolutely not, because you gotta be a little bit of a mean girl in a game like Survivor to survive. And she did what she needed to do to survive. And she showed how badass she was too. Like when she pulled out stuff when she needed to. So I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad with the outcome of her winning, even though we knew two people, like I said, the two people who were going to be on 50. I knew they would get to merge. I'm with you, David. I knew they would at least get to merge. What they did afterwards is what was up to them of how they played the game. If and they showed that they was gonna do something in this game, and they did it. And so I loved it. And then we got to see the rise of Sophie with an I, who 100% my favorite person on this season. Like Sophie with an I is definitely one of my favorite people on this season. She ate it down. I love that she was like, she just put herself in the right position at the right time, and she just knew what to do. And did she make a mistake? Did she not play her knowledge is power right? Yeah, sure. Who cares? I hate that power anyway. But I think this is such a good season. It was so entertaining. I thought it was great TV. It was great TV for me. I forgot where we landed. Who said great TV?
I think
Great
great
TVs.
in general.
Yeah.
Great TVs.
Yep.
Okay, so great TV it is. We're down to our final two. Let's talk Amazing Race 38 European tour with Big Brother players and their loved ones. Brook,
See,
I'll let go, Brook. Oh, well. Brook.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and to the point. This is the worst season of The Amazing Race I have ever watched, by far.
I've seen the family edition.
Right.
I have not. Thank God.
Okay,
No,
I'm about to say
that
Truly
would be
avoided
why.
family edition.
This
Well, I mean, I guess this is kind of a family edition, so I mean, here we are. I know it's a different thing. I know. I think this is the same problem I have with Big Brother 25. And fun fact, they have the same competition director. So funny how the competitions that this guy designed let Jag win Big Brother, and now they've let Jag and his brother win Amazing Race. I'm not going to say that was the only thing that let Jag win Amazing Race, Jag and Jazz win Amazing Race, but it certainly didn't hurt. It's one of the most dominant wins in the history of the show. They've won so many of the legs in the in-game especially, and I'm not going to take that away from them. They performed incredibly well. But the fact of the matter is this. When you're casting all of these Big Brother players, and so many of them are from the same like 2 or 3 seasons of the show, it's naturally going to cause a lot of the conflict to bleed over from those shows. And it just made it really unfun for me to watch. And I like a lot of these people. Like, I still love Taylor. I still love Joseph. I still love Angela, even if she was only here for a little bit. You know, like there are a lot of people on the show that I really enjoy, but it just got so unfun after a while. Like the Amazing Race is supposed to be a fun show for me. This wasn't fun.
It's supposed to be good and fun, right?
Good and fun. This is not good nor fun. And also I hate when they only do blah blah blah. Like, why are we only in Europe? Can we not go other places, please? I like the Amazing Race going everywhere. Like, I don't expect you to go to Antarctica, but like, can you not
Don't
just,
watch
like...
Destination X.
Okay, but here's the thing. I don't mind Destination X because it's not a show like Amazing Race that quite literally touts itself as a race around the world. That's like its entire thing. So staying in Europe, not a fan. Not gonna knock it hard for that, but everything else, like, God, it was like the only likable team didn't even make, well, not the likable, the only team I was rooting for by the end didn't even make the finale, and it irritates me. So yeah, God, I love Taylor, but by the end of the season, I was so diehard Team Izzy and Paige that them not making it to the end, it ruined any chance for me to like this season. Because the edit was just poor. You're built like the edit wants you to sympathize with Izzy and Paige. Like, that's what the edit is built around. And then we get the most unsatisfying payoff that we possibly could have. It's just like Big Brother 25 all over again. So I'm not gonna meh at the absolute best.
I love how Brooke says, I'm going to keep this short and sweet, and does not keep it short and sweet.
I had a lot to say, apparently. I didn't realize I had that much to say.
God. I'm teasing. David, what did you think since you weren't on the pod to talk about it?
Yeah, so I did have a main issue with this season, and it's funny that you brought up for Survivor 49 about potentially being spoiled on who goes far. Well, guess what? For this season of The Amazing Race, it was pretty damn impossible to not be spoiled on the not only who goes far, but the whole boot order. I was blocking and hiding hashtags on Twitter. No matter what I did, I kept seeing, oh, this person was just eliminated. Oh, this team was eliminated. And it made it such a frustrating experience watching this because I'm like, well, I already know. Like, there's no surprise element. I'm not the kind of person that likes to be spoiled going into a show. I want to have that surprise factor, and I couldn't have it here. So that was extremely frustrating. I do like most of the cast. I do wish it was spread better across the seasons instead of being so like season 23, 24, 25, 26 or whatever. And also, I don't like it when two different teams have almost all of the wins for the season. That makes it a little bit boring. I do think there were more likable teams than just Paige and Izzy, which I met Paige before she ever competed on this, which was pretty cool. But like, how do you not like Joseph and Adam? Like, they are the most lovable team for me this season.
It was the BCC chat for me. Like, watching the interactions that they were having with the other players in the chat BCC for the season. Like, I still like them, but I wasn't rooting for them, right? Okay. By the time the season is ending. It was hard for me to want to root for any other team because everybody else was part of this bigger alliance, and it was aggravating.
Right. Yeah, and the last point I'll make is I mentioned this for Project Runway Canada. I also don't love it when there's such a disparity in like the gender that's doing well on a show, and this was pretty dominated by the male teams. But overall, I'm going to give it a solid.
This season is just weird for me because it's like, so what if we had multiple alliances and all of this strategy, but none of it mattered because one team is just really, really good? Multiple teams basically give up their shot at winning the game because they like Jack and Jazz. Multiple. And it is infuriating from a viewer perspective of like, there's one or two teams that could do it. And Tucker and Eric is basically the only other team that has a shot at winning this, and they get sniped. And the reason they go out is because Tucker accidentally takes on a challenge that he can't really do because he's dyslexic. Mm-hmm. That's the reason they lose. I mean, if this is an equal playing field where no one knows each other, and maybe Jas and Jag and Eric and Tucker on a season, they actually are rivals. This was a season basically set up for Jas and Jag to win from the front. And, I mean, we even talked about it on the season. The only reason Jas and Jag haven't tied the record for most leg wins is because they gave a leg to Natalie and Stephanie. Yep. So it's meh. Honestly, I can't even say it's that good. It's like, yeah, Big Brother is fine and flashy and all that, but it was a slog of a season, unfortunately.
I feel like I don't know. See, I want to say, because I enjoyed watching the season. Was it the greatest Amazing Race season? No, absolutely not. And I don't like when it stays in one place, and I don't know why it did that for this, but I know a lot of the issues was the fact that it was spoiled throughout the whole thing was spoiled and they didn't do much to protect it. But I'm like, what could they do? Because it was just literally fans watching this go down, recording it on their phones and posting it. You can't stop people from posting things that they want to post online. And so I can't really be mad that it got spoiled and I knew what was going on and I knew most of the boot order. And I knew the boot order. I knew up to the final three, but I didn't know who won. But watching the season, it was very apparent who was going to win this season. But I don't think that should take away from how good Jag and Jazz were actually at this game. Like they really did really, really well in this game. And I think on any other season, any season with a regular season of Amazing Race, I still think they would do just as well. I do. I think if you put them on a regular season of Amazing Race where they're traveling around the world, I think they still do just as well. Same thing for Tucker and Eric. I think they would I think Tucker and Eric were made for Amazing Race. I think they would eat up any regular season as well as this season. I thought it was fine. I don't think it was the best. I would probably put it at meh because it was okay. It was a lot of people who I like. I'm going to always root for Taylor. I'm going to always root for Joseph and Adam now. I'm going to always root for Izzy and Paige now. I'm going to always root for Chada and Simone now. Like we got
Angela.
I will always root for what's Angela's daughter's Lexi. I will always root for Lexi. No, honestly, Brooke, let me tell you, I'm gonna say this. I'm meeting Angela. I met her, and I was at first I was like, I don't know if I want to talk to her. She seems like a lovely lady, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I just think that high pressure situations could make people act a bit crazier than they normally would.
She still triggered me, and I was still, and once I got to talk to her, I was like, okay, I can let that go. But she seems like a very lovely lady. But Lexi's doll, she's a doll. Love her. But yeah, I think it was a mess season. It wasn't the best of Amazing Race. I think some of these people could come back on a regular season and do really well, and I would like to see that. But yeah, it was meh. Is that where we landed though? I don't even know.
Yeah,
it was 3-1.
Okay, 3-1. So we landed on meh for that one. Cool.
At least we're ending on a significant highlight.
Oh, this is the highest note of all. I think this is going to be the hardest one to rank because we are ending on Traitors season 3, U.S. Traitors, and woo, what a season! Jack, we'll let you start off with this season.
This season, both managed to piss me off in aspects, and then become incredible, and then piss me off again, and then I don't know what to say other than this season was incredible television. Did Rob getting into the game like this piss me off? Did him becoming a traitor ruin part of this season? Absolutely. And I think that having Monet on, who will take Bob's legacy of being loud and right and make it work because Monet knows what the fuck she's doing, it will be event television. And I don't know how they're going to follow up this season. I'm ready to see it. This is great TV.
This is my least favorite season of American Traitors to this point. I just want to start with that.
Okay.
I just want to lead with that. I feel like it is be in the interest of being intellectually honest. I had really high hopes for this season, especially after the first episode. I was like, they actually did it. They made Bob a traitor. Holy shit. And I really think that this original Traitors group of Carolyn, Danielle, and Bob would have been so entertaining. It would have been so great. We just had to throw Boston Rob in there, and I think that really tanked a lot of the season for me. And I'm not even one of those people that's like Boston Rob ruins every show he's on. I don't think that. I think specifically automatically making him a traitor arbitrarily for no reason after he's already not been added to the game. When you also have him coming in with Derek and Wes, I think is really dumb. Loved seeing Wes. I think he was really fun, and I think he was so refreshing compared to what we got from Challenge the season before. Besides CT, we love CT. But this end game just really pissed me off. I am so sorry. The fact that I have to look at my screen and say 2 out of the 4 winners of this season of the Traitors did actively nothing to help their own game the entire season irritates me. No shade to Dylan, no shade to Gabby, because I think the 2 of them played incredible games. Dolores and Ivor did nothing in this game to help themselves. And it just irritates me. But I will say we did get some incredibly great sound bites, mostly from Bob. So, like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I would probably put it in solid TV. Okay. I hope this next season is better. And I think it just might be that season 3 slump. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Mm-hmm. David?
Yeah, so there are a lot of people I know that love the Traitors. They watch the US version and they love it. And to all of those people, I want to be like, you don't know what you're missing out on. Because for me, the US version is the worst version of the Traitors. And I think that comes down to the type of casting they do, which is, sure, entertaining personalities. But you have so many people that have this righteous indignation about, like, how dare you play a game? You gamers over there playing games. And we get that consistently. We got that from gamers this season, too. Especially Carolyn, who was infuriating for me. I know a lot of people were living for her. I wanted to grab her by her hair. She was so annoying this season. So yeah, this season was maybe the most frustrating season of reality television I watched this year. With that said, it was still entertaining. Like, there was still a lot going on that kept my attention, for better or for worse. I got to see Danielle Reyes play the season basically all the way through. And that was amazing for me. And I think, honestly, part of the problem is that I go into these seasons and I'm very invested in somebody. I'm invested in Sari. Great. I'm invested in Dan. Not great. I'm invested in Danielle. Not great. So that really kind of taints the season for me when I see not only people mistreating them in the game, but then these nobodies on Twitter being like, who's this Danielle bitch and why is she so awful? Right. I'm like, you don't know who you're talking about. So I'm really conflicted on where to put this season. Honestly, man, if I put it great, it is the bottom of the great. So I guess that's what I'll do.
Okay. So I went into this season just expecting what I just love. Like, Danielle was there. Everybody who knows me, if you see me talk about my favorite Big Brother player of all time, it is Danielle Reyes. So I was already excited to see her back on my screen. And then I was nervous because I was like, if she comes back and she doesn't live up to what everybody expects her to live up to, is she going to be like, well, who is this girl? Why is she here? She's nobody. She's no legend. Like they tried to do Dan. And like I said, no, what we not go do is sit there and say that these people are not legends in the game that they play, because Traitors is a whole new different game from Big Brother. It's 2 different games. They might not have been the best traitor in Traitors, but they are really still good in what they did in the games that they played before. But the fact that we got Danielle Reyes and Brittany Haynes back on my screen, I was very pleased. I was very excited, and I was not mad at whatever was the outcome was going to come from that. We got Bob the drag queen, who I just really wanted to see on something outside of Drag Race. And we got to see that. I love to see any drag queen outside of Drag Race to see what they can do on any other show. And I love seeing that. I ate it up. And I think Bob did a great job. Would Bob, Danielle, and Carolyn have been my perfect trio for Traitors? Absolutely. Rob did not need to be there. Rob should have came. If they were going to bring him back in there with Weston and Derek, they should just brought them all three in there and let them go and see what happened. Like, if they was going to bring him back, like, just do that. Like, I just thought it was, that was just frustrating. It had its highs, it had its lows. I enjoyed a lot of it. Was it entertaining? Absolutely. What did it make me want to watch it all the way to the end? Yes. Am I gonna watch next season because I'm still on the high from? Yes, I'm still gonna watch it. I just like Traitors, and I feel like this show is always going to be in that realm. How I feel like Project Runway is. It's never going to be below solid TV. Like, it's never going to be under solid. It's always going to be solid or better for me. And for me, I thought this season was great TV. I agree it wasn't the best it was probably my least favorite of the 3 seasons of Traitors, because season 1 8 down, season 2 8 down. And so this one was like, I think, Brook, you're right. It's in that season 3 slump, but I feel like with this upcoming season, with this cast that we have, hopefully they gel right and it works. But I hope it has an upswing this season. And but for me, I would still put great TV.
My sincere biggest hope this season is that we do not have a single Survivor Big Brother player or challenger if one of them shows up as a traitor to start with. I want this to be a season.
One of them is going to.
But this is a want, Jack. This is not realism. This is what I want. Because I just think it would be more fun. Like, we've had a Survivor player as a traitor all 3 seasons, and granted, they didn't automatically have to have one the second year, but we did. We had Parvati. So, like, maybe give me a year where we just don't, because I think it could be really interesting. Imagine it's like 2 housewives and Donna Kelsey. Like, I don't know, but it could be fun. It could be camp. They don't always agree. Like, make it freaking Eric Nom and like a housewife and Donna Kelsey. That's what it should be. Eric Nom, a housewife, and Donna Kelsey.
And throw in what the Mark Ballas just for the whatever.
And
just
Mark Ballas for the lulz.
Just for the like, throw it. Like, they don't have to be the gamers. Let's not have the gamers be the traitors. Let it be people who don't. Could you imagine how if none of them know what they're doing in the turret, like what that conversation would be like in the turret if they all just not strategic gamers, they're just like, let's just kill people just for the heck of it, you know?
It's like, yeah, so we've all actually settled tonight on killing Alan. What?
Mm-hmm. We don't like
the idea of them all just being like, okay, so this one won Big Brother, but this one played Survivor. I don't know what Big Brother is, but they won it. I don't know. Like, I can hear these conversations happening that have nothing to do with anything that's going on in the actual house, and it's just on reputation. Like, please. It'll feed families.
But that's it. That's the list. Let's look it over, y'all. How we feel about this list. Let me bring it down so we could everything. Are we okay with Superior? How are we feeling about Superior?
I've heard
that I watched.
I've heard enough about Culinary Class Wars to where I know it's there anyway. So, yeah, no, that all works for me.
Okay.
Please go watch Culinary Class Wars. I know you all have watched most of the other shows on this list. Please go watch Culinary Class Wars. Like, if that is my one takeaway from this video, is trying to get everyone to watch peak television on Netflix.
Okay. Great TV looks pretty solid, I think.
Yeah.
No, it looks great. Not solid. Solid's below it.
Well, no, it looks great. It looks pretty decent to me.
Y'all been.
Yeah, Neil did. Solid.
Neil didn't get a season this year.
Neil did not get a season. We didn't.
Solid looks pretty great.
Solid looks great. Great.
Genuine question, because we talked about it several hours ago at this point. What is the big takeaway I should get from Battle Camp?
It's Disney Channel games for Netflix stars and adults.
Yeah.
See, I know what it is. I heard so much bad about it. Was it just okay?
It was fine. It was
the
solid.
the main bad of it was people going, "What do you mean they're being eliminated by the wheel? That's stupid."
Well, clearly
And
they've
that
never
just
watched
continued
Moon
on.
Beach.
Right.
Clearly they never watched Moon the Beach.
Right. I like I said, it wasn't something that you'd be like, oh, this is peak television. I must watch all the time. But if you just wanted something to just not think while you're watching it, just something to just be like, okay, this was fun. It's refreshing. It was cool. That's that. It's not nothing that's gonna be deep in thought. It's nothing that you need to deep dive and be like, oh, this and pick apart. It's just a fun little silly show that you just watch. So for me, it was fine. It was fine. And then we have meh. I feel
Meh.
like
Looks pretty cancel now.
Yeah.
You're so stupid. I hate you. And cancel should be never, huh? I never want to see cancel though.
I'm
Yeah.
genuinely trying to debate in my head which of the shows in Never offend me more. Because, like, on the one hand, Guts and Glory had potential and they ruined it. And, like, but at least it was only 5 episodes of actual TV. It was basically just a long movie, right? Next Gen Chef was fucking 10 episodes of a commercial that I continued to watch because I thought maybe it would turn into a good cooking show at some point. I think Next Gen Chef might irritate me more.
Well, I didn't see any of them, either one of them, so I could not be the
Yeah,
one.
I only have context for one of those, and one of those was a lie of a TV show. So, I mean, an ad can't be that bad.
Right.
It can be if it's a 10-hour cooking show.
That's okay. I watched more ads on TikTok, so I'm not that bad. But yeah, I think this is a solid list. I first of all, I did not expect it to go as long as it did, but it did because we had so many shows. But I kind of feel like the state of reality television is going to be something very interesting to talk about.
Cannot wait for that recording.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But there we have it, y'all. We have talked at length about all the shows that we watched, covered, or not watched, but other people have tiered it. I want y'all to let us know what you think. What do you think about this list? Do you agree with us? What do you think we should have moved? What made it to the superior that you be like, should not have been there? Or what made it to should have never been made or at all? And you're like, that's not fair. It shouldn't have been made. Or whatever. Let us know in the comments what you think. We truly appreciate you watching us. And it was fun. I had a good time with this one. David, thanks for bringing this to us. We had a good time making this tier list. And we're going to get out of here because, y'all, we have been here and we have talked ad nauseum of what we talked about. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so right now. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And guess what is here? And we are not there. But we will just continue talking about it in 2026. So follow us on the channel, subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links. Follow us and join our Patreon, you guys. We got a lot of fun things going on in our Patreon. Movie Bucket gone too soon. A lot of other shows, new ideas coming your way. A lot of fun things, early access. Join the Patreon. Now is the time to do it. We're revving it up. We're having a good time. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And don't forget to get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Get your mug. Scan that QR code that's been there this whole time. And yeah, we appreciate you watching. We're going to get out of here. And peace out, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers.